So Peter Doocy took a crack at old man Biden, too. Here's what he had to say.
Are you worried that other leaders in the world are going to start to doubt that America is back if some of these big things that you say on the world stage keep getting walked back?
Thank you. Thank you.
What's getting walked back?
Made it sound like
Everything you say
last
gets
couple
walked
days,
back.
It sounded like you told U.S. troops they were going to Ukraine.
Yes.
It sounded like you said it was possible the U.S. would use a chemical weapon, and it sounded like you were calling for regime change in Russia, and we know...
Right.
None of the three occurred.
Oh, my...
None of the three occurred.
None of the three.
Right?
God.
Mr. President?
You interpret the language that way. I was talking to the
Oh, my
troops.
gosh.
We're talking about helping train the troops that are the Ukrainian troops that are in Poland.
No.
That's what the context. I sat there with
No,
those guys for
that's
a couple
not what you
hours.
said.
That's what we talked about.
So when you said you're going to see when you're there, you were not intending to
I was
say
referring to meeting with and talking with the Ukrainian troops that were in Poland.
And when you said a chemical weapon
What?
use by Russia would trigger a response in kind.
Pause it for a second. That doesn't
It
even
will
make
trigger
sense. What he said was, women are standing in front of tanks in Ukraine, and you're going to see that you'll see that when you're there. He wasn't saying you're going to see that when you're here in Poland training with Ukrainian soldiers. That doesn't make any sense. He was talking about something going on in Ukraine, telling the U.S. soldiers they'd see it when they're there. Now, he could have just misspoken, but just say that if that's true. But he can't even admit to that.
Look.
He can't even admit to, I just misspoke. I'm sorry. Even Obama could say he misspoke.
Uh-huh.
This guy can't. He's so perfect in his own mind that he can't admit to even misspeaking.
It's embarrassing.
Oh, my. It's far more than that.
Yeah.
Far more. But Peter Doocy is bold and brave and maybe the gutsiest White House correspondent I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I agree completely.
He is following up. He's holding feet to the fire.
Because he knew that Biden was going to push back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he was ready.
Yeah, he was.
He was like, well, you said this.
Right.
Like, I gave you the
Right.
headline. Oh, you want to push back? This is the quote you said, old man.
Right.
Good job.
Great job. All right, let's see the rest of this.
Trigger a response in kind.
It will trigger a significant response.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you? You got to be silly.
Yeah, that's
The world
fair.
wants to know.
The world wants to know a lot of things. I'm not telling them what the response would be. Then Russia knows the response.
Yeah,
you
that, I mean, that's that he can't do.
Okay, no, he already did it when he made the original
I know.
quote.
I know.
We're going to respond in kind. That means the same thing that
Yes.
they did to us.
That's true. That is true.
Just
But-
madness.
Good job by Peter Doocy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll
tell you
say it
what.
again. He turned out to be so much better than I expected from him.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just a goofy,
Well,
light reporter.
yeah, they gave him, like I said, the Easter egg roll and all that good stuff.
Yes.
They were just getting
Yes.
him in, making the connections
right
there.
But I didn't see anything that led me to believe, okay, this guy's going to be a powerhouse one day.
Yeah, and then they
But now,
yeah.
he is.
they put him on the campaign trail, and
Yeah, he
he
did
got
a good
used
job.
to asking those questions, and now he asks the tough questions
And
every
now
day
he's
at
in the
White House.
front stinking row.
I love it.
It's great.
I will say, though, that the overnight janitor at the Pentagon would have handled that a lot better. He would
Then
have...
Biden?
Sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
There's
he
no
would have
question about
been
that.
straight up with the American people. Look, I was tired. It was overnight, double shift.
Look, I had just mopped the floor.
Thank you.
You know how big the freaking Pentagon is? There's a lot of flooring at the Pentagon.
Yep.
It's one of the largest buildings in the world. And I had just finished mopping the whole thing.
And then they shoved this
And,
microphone into my face, and I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, Putin needs to go.
So yeah, I misspoke. Okay? I'm not saying we're going to shoot Putin in the head. That's not what I'm saying.
Now, if you would please allow me to get back to my mopping duties.
I got a mop today. And then I
gotta
have to
vacuum.
clean the windows, and we're doing some vacuuming
Yeah.
on the carpeted flooring.
Speaking of vacuuming, I would like to point out that this gentleman right here, Pat Gray, who does everything, everything. He's Mr. Everything. He's also Mr. Housekeeping. On his Twitter account, if you want to go to @PatUnleashed on Twitter, you can see him in action pre-show. A lot of hosts will go through the prep, they'll watch the videos, all that stuff. Pat actually was vacuuming here for us. So thank you for that.
But we had actually gone through the prep as well before that. And then there was 10 minutes left, and I thought, let's vacuum the floor.
Let's vacuum the floor. See? Mr. Housekeeping.
Right. Well, I'm working on getting the gig after the janitor at the Pentagon goes to the presidency. Then I'm going to take his gig.
Because right now he's splitting
Pentagon.
time between the Pentagon overnight shift and the presidency, the executive of the nation.
Yeah.
And so
when
there's
he's
that
full-time,
transition period.
they're going to need somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to show him that I have the skills.
And that's a good stepping
do it.
stone to the presidency, as we've learned. So
Right.
kudos to you, man.
So who knows?
You got a career path.
Who knows who will succeed the current janitor at the Pentagon?
And it's going to be you.
It's going to be
I'm
me.
voting for you.